I'll make it worse. This
going live. Everybody will go live. Boo, boo, boo.
Yay! Look, I'm the one with the dark. I can be a floating face. I'm good with it.
We have mood lighting.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
We maybe could get more light. Again, those times that record in a completely different part of the day.
Get used to it because I enjoy it.
It's kind of nice recording in the evening.
It's nice. We can put a lamp there later.
We'll get a lamp. We'll turn.
Yeah, I have one.
I have lights on that side of the house.
You want me to test one?
Sure.
Let's test the front one.
Go turn that front one on.
Okay.
It's that one light switch that's closest to the door. This is so exciting for you guys.
How is it?
Sure. That works.
Okay. We're doing it.
I mean, it turns some light on.
Here.
Yeah.
This is good. We're still visible. We'll talk fast before it gets dark out.
Oh, wait. Throw me my shawl.
Oh.
I'm horrible because I forgot. I mentioned I was going to wear this week.
Oh, this shawl? You need this shawl?
The shawl that the dog was just laying on. So I mentioned I was going to wear this. This is my new crazy elven forest wizard shawl that I'm now going to wear whenever I play Topsy. Yeah, this is what I'm going to wear whenever I play Topsy. This is my new cloak of elvenkind.
Yay! I like it. I'm wearing the colors palette of the Urban Decay palette called Winterfell. Because today is going to be a big emotional day.
Guys, we're going to talk about it on the main pod. It's been a weekend for us.
It's gonna, yeah. By the time you see this,
we'll have been gutted already.
Our in-trails will be out trails.
That works. Yeah, it's been
I kind of like this dark lighting.
Yeah, it kind of works. It's very
it's very flattering.
I don't know if I have anything else pre-stream. This is the stream.
This is the audio. Stream.
Except trying to fix this camera.
There we
go.
We actually, I think it's okay to say that pod cards will be out this week.
Yeah, there's 2 pod cards lined up.
Yes.
And they're to Grace. Because I got them to her late.
Well, yes. I didn't words right.
Words.
Let's go. You want to go, bro?
Let's go.
No, we're good. Let's get this show on the road.
170?
Yeah, 170.
Okay. Welcome to episode 170 of There's No Place Like Terra, a Stargate First Watch Rewatch podcast. I am Nixie.
And I'm Grace. The end. Today we're going over Atlantis Season 1, Episode 9, Home, aka Fogception, or The Problem with Poplars, which is not the same as what is it? The Trouble with Tribbles. It's not. Slightly different.
It's very different.
And this is far more appropriate. I did my homework because I've actually seen the Tribbles episode.
Well,
the first one.
Okay, have you seen the second one?
I've seen the first Tribbles episode.
I like the second one more than the first one.
I've seen the first one, and I've also seen The Problem with Poplars from Futurama, and that's more what this one feels like.
Can I tell you that in my head, even though you said The Problem with Popples, and I knew that was Futurama episode, in my head I was thinking Popples.
Oh, like the Popples?
Like the stuffed animal that turns into itself.
I had a Popple. Mm-hmm. And then I also thought, well, this is a very Inception-y episode.
It is.
But I was like, but also, Shepard kind of becomes Tyler Durden at some point. He's like, oh, I am Tyler Durden. He figures it out. So it's the mindfuckery one.
It is.
It's the mindfuckery episode.
The mind flayer.
Yes. Motherfucking mind flayer. Last night, a little bit of a D&D.
A brief D&D because we have other shit to talk about before we start this episode.
A tiny D&D for a tiny gnome. Yesterday we played a different campaign than we usually play. I'm human. I am the human with people voice.
This is our first drink.
Hello, I are people today. Okay, get it together.
Yes.
Last night we played through the Dragon Heist in Waterdeep.
Yes.
Which is a campaign that I got for Christmas, which is technically a solo campaign, but there's a couple of NPCs. And because our regular party couldn't meet, I asked a Nixie and a bartender husband, Nick.
Just leave it a bartender, Nick.
It's just fun to make it awkward.
Just keep going.
I asked him to play our 2 NPCs.
Yeah.
which just seem to fit very perfectly because one is a elven fighter ranger fighter guy.
Archery
Yes, and the other is a dwarven drunken master.
Yeah.
So I was like, who better to play these than my two friends who are basically those in real life? And I got to play Lou, my crazy little gnome rogue. But
we fought a mind
flayer and a drurer.
Yeah,
I never
honestly,
say that word properly.
Drurer was more of a bastard than the mind flayer because the mind flayer just noped out of there.
He's like, peace. I'm not dealing with
I don't want to fight you anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted my monies.
But
come give me all your monies.
We took your monies.
Bye. That's it.
So let's discuss in a non-spoiler route.
Yes.
We promise non-spoilers.
No spoilers for anything.
The emotional toil that is being wrought on many across the nerddom that ripples.
Yeah, record-breaking numbers.
1.2 billion worldwide for an opening weekend, which basically doubles the last record, which was Avengers Infinity War. So then Endgame then doubled the old record.
Everyone's going to talk Avengers. People may be sick of it, but we each want to share like a one-sentence thing.
I don't cry in movies.
Mm-hmm.
I missed it up a number of times and just fucking bawled at 3 different points.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then otherwise, the rest of it is I literally sat through the entire credits without being able to form words.
Yeah. Me crying is a usual event, so I can't use that as a gauge for anything, but I can say this because we know that I have a short attention span.
Yeah.
I did not get up once to pee. I made it through the entire movie without losing focus once.
There you go.
And it was a long ass movie.
It's a long movie.
And there was one other point I wanted to make. Oh, I am incredibly happy that I knew nothing going into it.
I didn't know anything.
So
it was great.
I think it's really important that we trust the film and do our best to keep spoilers out of there.
Yeah. Don't ruin.
Yeah.
We will have, however, don't worry. We will have a tangent cast on Avengers.
Look, even if no one listens, we just need to unpack it for our own.
We do. And we're not doing it immediately because A, we need to see the film again. And B, this is one that normally a lot of our tangent casts, like the reaction stuff, is we go without script and we just sit down and we talk about the film for who knows how fucking long. I
heard it. I'm going to interrupt with a non-important thing. I heard a Kaylee in the background. And my hackles went up.
Yeah.
And then I remembered that a Kaylee is not a Drake.
No.
And she can be in the kitchen.
Yes.
Without eating
she
food
also
off the table.
Buries her food.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have a rug that's never like down normal in the kitchen.
Puts it under.
Because the dog just kind of always crinkles it up.
What's a food rug?
And then there's food in it.
There you go. Sorry,
so we need to organize our notes and our thoughts for this one because there's way too much to touch on that we don't want to forget anything.
You call them thoughts, I call them feels.
Feels. There's way too many feels in this episode.
But now that that's out of the way.
Yes.
Atlantis.
Oh, no, I was going to touch on the other thing that we haven't seen yet that we will have seen by the time this goes out is one of the reasons we're recording late today is because we're just going to be gathering at this house to watch the Battle of Winterfell.
To cry
because I have a hunch that the Battle of Winterfell may punch me in the gut as much, if not more.
We're literally, after we record today, going to buy stress snacks.
Yeah.
And then come back home.
And then wine.
Yes.
Because this is another thing. Avengers was 11 years in the making. And now the Battle of Winterfell, this is not the season finale, but this has still been 10 years, 11 years.
A lot of time.
And not everyone is going to make it out of Winterfell.
This is fine.
We're fine now.
Everything is fine.
There's a reason we're drinking rum and ginger. To those who, what's the line? To those who are about to fall, or there's a line.
For those about to rock, we salute you.
Yes. To those about to rock, we salute you. There's actually a more serious line that's similar to that, but I like that one too.
I'm going to use that one.
Okay. Oh. I don't think there's anything else major.
We're going to call it the rum and feelings.
The rum and feels.
Otherwise, we're here for you. Let's get some Atlantis.
Yes.
Now that you're here.
Now that you're
If you came here to not remember any of that on your Tuesday, I apologize. But we're here now. We're going to Atlantis it up and nothing else.
Avengers is going to ripple through our lives for a long time. Oh, the only other thing that you may hear some new references thrown about in the next couple weeks. I throw enough D&D references in now. I don't know if any of you else.
Nixie's finally caught up on Critical Role.
I'm not
Let's
caught
just
up.
make it clear.
I'm not caught up in Critical Role.
Oh, true.
There's a reason I didn't start Critical Role years ago. It's because I obsess over things, and now my entire life has now been filtered through Vox Machina.
Yeah.
And I've listened to. I'm on episode 47 in less than a month.
See, I had watched a couple of the Vox Machina series.
Yeah.
I've watched the Mighty Nine.
Yeah.
So I'm mostly caught up there. What I can manage without falling asleep. Sometimes I'm just like, Jesse, what I missed. But we've got to the point where I restarted Vox Machina, and you beat me. You are now like 40 hours ahead of me.
Listen, I don't like things. I obsess over things in the best, most pure nerddom form.
Nixie has no medium.
It's
on
no,
or off.
I don't.
Light switch. There's no dimmer.
Don't.
There's no dimmer.
It's not everything is through a Vox. I've been making more it's bad. Okay. I just had to preface that in case there's references that happen without me realizing them sometimes. Okay. September 10th, 2004.
Woo!
It's written by Joe Malozzi, directed by Holly Dale, and this is actually the only episode of Stargate that she directed. Recently, she's done a lot of stuff like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Castle, Dexter, all the Chicago shows. One of the new X-Files, like she's a big episodic director. She's done a bunch of smaller stuff in Canada before then. She's kind of cool. Oh, yeah, and then the main guest star, Mr. Dennis Davies.
Yeah, General fucking Hammond himself.
General motherfucking Hammond.
That's what I'm gonna call him.
Also, we have Garrison Sanford back as Simon, and most importantly, I mean Don's most importantly. Let's not forget that. But Gary Jones is Walter.
We do like a good Walter.
I mean, Walter is always going to be there. Also, most importantly, not as importantly as Don, is Sedgwick.
Which one's Sedgwick?
Sedgwick is Tori Higgins.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. The one that I was like, I know that pupper. Oh, actually,
no,
I
don't
thought you meant
know
the man. I thought you were talking about the man.
No. I literally mean Sedgwick, her dog, who plays her dog.
I need that dog in my life.
It's a good dog.
That was what I thought we would end up with before we got a Drake, and then I fell in love with Drake.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want a black one and a white one. I want matching pupples.
Matching pupples.
Yeah.
So we start on a fog planet. I mean,
Yay.
fog in quotation marks. I may do quotation marks, and then you can't hear quotation marks. So when I say fog, just put quotation marks around it. To the point where the team has to wear hazmat suits.
Yeah.
And there's just like a shit ton of fog on the it's just fog planet.
I'm gonna take a minute here.
Yeah.
And talk about the genius of this scene. Because there's a thing I noticed. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was on purpose or not, but I want to say that the writers are so smart that it was on purpose.
Probably.
This episode harkens revisions.
Yes.
From I think that's what it's called, from season 7 of SG1.
Okay.
Where they go to the like things are not as they seem.
Yeah.
Where the bubble keeps getting smaller.
Yep.
And the first scene is the exact same
fog
and hazmat suits.
Exactly.
And I love that because it's like, if you're paying attention, you know what's about to happen.
Yes.
And I love that.
Fog is bad.
Yes.
Also, slightly smells of waffles usually.
A little bit of waffly things.
Fog machines usually smell of waffles.
But nice work, Joseph Malozzi.
Yes.
Because he probably wrote the other one too.
Sure.
Who knows?
Sure.
Who knows? I'm going to decide that he did.
Yeah. So there's fog, but there's also all these energy readings. And it's like they're so amazing energy readings that McKay really wants to stop and study them.
I like it.
Like a lot of energy. Like McKay can't figure out how to use it or what it is. Or
he's like,
anything.
It might be ghosts. It might not.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
There's just a lot of energy.
Yeah.
So John just wants to call it a mission. And I'm going to pause because the dog is a dog. I'll be right back, people on the video.
Yay.
This is what happens when you record in the evening and then forget to feed your dog before, and then she kicks the food bowl halfway across the kitchen.
Cool. Hey, just so we know, I'm going to narrate everything Nixie does. Nixie is now feeding the dog. The dog has now dropped all the food. Kaylee is yelling. Things are happening.
Okay. Let me rewind. Again, the beauty of live video for you people. Oh, and then I banged my knee into the desk.
That's okay.
Okay. We're back. So, John wants to call a mission and head back home because there's nothing here but fucking fog.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when McKay's like, oh, we don't have to wear our hazmat suits, guys. Although
like,
Ford doesn't trust him and never takes his off.
Yeah. Well, can you blame him?
No.
McKay is so haphazard that I'd be like, I don't know, I'm going to wait until everybody's been in it for like 5 minutes and then
Exactly.
I'll take it off.
So as soon as Ford dials the gate, McKay tells them they have to wait. I think the dog also needs water. This is the best video, guys.
Some say we may never hear. I'm gonna make you guys all like stare at my dumb face.
This is the best video in the world, guys. This is what happens when you do in the evening, and I'm not prepared for my life.
Sometimes we get discombobulated because we have an order to how we do things. We're not emotionally spent. We're
creatures of habit.
But we can adapt.
Okay. I'm just going to go back to where it was to make one edit point for you.
Okay, I'm good
because I love you.
Thank you.
Okay, so John wants to call a mission. There's nothing here but fucking fog. That's it.
Yep.
And it's only then that McKay's like, oh, hey guys, we don't have to wear the hazmat suits.
Yeah.
Anymore.
Did you think those were super uncomfortable? I figured you guys all really loved enclosed spaces like I do.
So, but Ford doesn't trust, and Ford never takes us off the entire time, which I love.
No.
So as soon as Ford dials the gate, McKay's like, wait, don't go through the gate yet.
Just kidding, I was wrong. Put your hazmat suit back on.
As soon as the wormhole connects, there is a wild energy fluctuation. Yeah. It's just drawing power from the atmosphere, from the fog. And since the fog covers the whole planet, that's a shit ton of power.
Yeah.
Like, as in a lot. As in opening a wormhole back to Earth? Question mark.
Dun, 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 dun.
Credits.
This is where I got excited. I may have yelled at you.
You did.
Yeah. I said, we're going back to Earth.
Earth. So in the briefing room back in Atlantis, we learned that the Atlantis Stargate isn't the only one that can dial Earth because of power reasons or because of anything else, except for the fact that they have a specific control crystal. That allows them to dial this 8th chevron. So, and it's about here that I'm super happy that Grace sometimes misses things and missed the fact that Donna Davies' names were across the bottom as a guest star.
I'm super observant
because
I don't know what
made the reveal fantastic.
I do like to purposely not look too closely at the credits, I've learned, so that I like not having things ruined.
And it's one of those things where if this was a Game of Thrones or if this was some other show, they wouldn't put him in the first credits. Yes. But this is the type of show where he's gonna have to. I think there's only once, maybe, and I forget who it was that they saved the reveal. I think it was Daniel. And they were able to save the reveal until the end.
Well, and it's just, I don't think that's what you did back then. Like, spoilery things wasn't such a big deal.
No.
Yeah.
So McKay has to reinsure and confirm people that he's awesome and really smart.
Yeah.
And won't be breaking their gate by taking out the control crystal. And he knows what he's doing. He can pull this off and he can have the fog power the gate.
Seems like an easy enough thing.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
And the other issue is that even if they are able to do this, they have to assume that Earth still doesn't have a ZPM. So anyone who goes, it's kind of a one-way trip.
Yeah.
And McKay assumes that someone would volunteer for that. I mean, McKay can't go unless he knows he's able to come back because he's really important.
He's just far too important everywhere he goes. He's not full of himself at all.
But they can at least send a message, and they can send some intel, John suggests.
Yeah.
So after a beautiful sunset shot, because Atlantis is fucking gorgeous.
Why not?
McKay has the control crystal, the little box guy. And it's not like there's just a USB slot to plug it in at the other gates. So there is some disassembly required.
This is the part where I would be very, very nervous.
As anyone would.
McKay is basically, I don't know if everybody else's little brothers did this. Mine was especially destructive, but would just take things apart, like the controllers to the PlayStation or the VCR.
When my younger brother took things apart, I was usually doing it with him.
Oh, see, that's fair. My brother is 8 years younger. So it was the right time because he was little. He was probably 5 or 6. And I was old enough to be a surly teenager and be like, why are you here in this world?
Yeah, we had 3.5 years. So it's like that perfect age.
Why are you in this world,
to fight with each other, but at the same time get into the hijinks together.
Smart.
It was good.
Yes. I like that.
So... like, don't worry, he was able to put the gate back together again, and it's an extremely unlikely small chance that he would mess up and rescue is only 804 years away.
Yeah.
Which, of course, they would totally go rescue him.
Yeah. Every time Shepard mentions the puddle jumper, I want him to name my car. Because I feel like my car needs a good name.
I know. My last one had a good name, and this one doesn't have one quite yet.
The Versa's just always been the Versa. She's like, a girl has no name.
Mine's a Sonic, so we call it the Hedgehog sometimes. But
well, it is blue.
It is blue.
I like it.
I also just love all the little times that they throw in there that John's really good with math.
Yes. Just accidentally, casually, just the savant.
He's really math person.
Yeah.
Which I also find fun because I'm super not.
No. You know what I've learned from me it is about math is that I just give up.
I had 8 + 6 and I was counting it on my fingers last night.
See, I know the math and I can do it. And I actually, when I was little, I was taught how to do that like mind math. To where you can do like very large number multiplication and addition. I just don't. Somehow I lose my attention span for it. I'm gonna learn it again.
I just mix numbers up. It just never works.
I'm gonna learn it again, and I'm gonna be that person.
You do that.
What's 23,040 divided by 17? And I'm gonna be like 22 remainder 1.
To paraphrase an immortal figure for me, Mr. Richard Feynman. My brain has limited space, and I'm going to use that space for other things because I have a calculator in my pocket.
I'm gonna do it
and fingers.
Finger. It is good. There are times, however, where during D&D, the emotions cloud the math brain, and you're like, I don't know, but I rolled a 13.
That's what I used to say. I was like, I rolled a natural 18, and I have a +6. I'm assuming
that just call it. Can we just say it's fine? Everything hurts.
I hit without my modifier. Can we just not do the math?
But yes. Fair.
So McKay says he needs some assistance and pulling off this hijinks. And Weir looks at John, and then John looks at Ford, and then Ford's like, I have no one to look at.
Shit rolls downhill, and I'm at the bottom of it.
So McKay and Ford head to the planet. The Stargate is shut down, and McKay gets to work. So Weir visits John in his quarters.
I'm going to take a minute here to notice a weird thing. I don't know if it's because I've never watched on... We have a living room TV, and we have a bedroom TV, and then I watch with you here on your TV.
Yeah.
Our living room TV is almost brand new.
Yeah.
So it's the first time I did my rewatch on that TV, because usually I'm lazy and take my notes in bed.
I get it. We all do it.
And I was like, Weir is wearing very shiny new makeup. And so in my brain, I was like, that's a lot of makeup for someone off planet.
Yeah.
That's not something she would have packed in her bag. I'm sure of it. So here's what I decided.
Okay.
Her and Taylor, because we see later that Taylor likes to shop.
She does.
Her and Taylor, she was like, come with me to this planet. We're going to go buy some really cool shit.
It's the makeup planet.
She's like, let me take you to the Mac planet. Or to the Sephora planet.
Planet Ulta.
Yeah. This is dumb and I love it.
Oh,
okay,
gosh. I do.
I apologize for yelling at you.
So then we find out that one of John's personal items was Tolstoy's War and Peace. Regarded as one of the finest pieces of literature and something I'm never going to read.
No, I love that they say what page he's on because I'm like, that feels right.
17 out of over 1,000. Here's my thing, dude. If you're going to bring 1,000-some page book, just fucking bring Lord of the Rings.
Bring something you're going to like. But he
may enjoy War and Peace.
Here's what I believe it is about Shepard.
Yeah.
Even if it's a book he likes, he just doesn't make time to read.
No.
Because I have books that I've been wanting to read. And I'm like, I am 20 pages in and I've owned this book for 4 years.
Do you know how many books are up my bookshelves that are on the I will eventually read this
I get
list?
to this fun place where they actually make it to the nightstand and these poor books are like, oh, she's going to read me. There's a nightlight. There's everything set up. It's going to happen. And then the other book that's stacked underneath it's like, nah, bro. It's never going to happen.
I literally have.
I've lived here for 2 years.
I have a shelf that's on my wall. Besides the books that are on my nightstand that have been there, they moved from the old house on the nightstand to the current house on the nightstand.
Every now and then I reorganize. I go, maybe I'll read these three.
I have another shelf that hangs on the wall that is only for books.
This must be normal, right? This has to be a thing that people do. The nightstand orphans.
I'm never going.
Oh, that's a good band name.
Nightstand orphans.
Yeah. I'm good.
I'm never going to read War and Peace. I know it's a little bit of a novel and it's a little bit of a poem. It's a little bit of history and there's a whole philosophy section and people love it. I'm not that person.
I am pretentious enough to where I am going to read it.
You go ahead and
I'm going to do it. It's going to be the first thing I'm calling it now.
And I'm not saying
the first thing I read when I'm done with school.
That it's not a fantastic piece of literature. Mm-hmm. Just saying I have limited time in life. And I'm just not going to read Tolstoy.
I'm going to decide that I'm going to read it as soon as I'm done with school. Because at this point, I'm pretty certain that I will never be done with school. So I can confidently say that.
You do that, sure, and then you can give us the cliff notes.
Yes, done.
And I did
I'll put it to you in 3 words: war and peace.
War, peace, long.
Peace out.
War, peace, sad. I did watch part of the Andrew Davies BBC documentary a few years ago, and I didn't even finish that. So no. I have to admit, I know nothing about the novel. I know it takes place in Russia, and it's
I think
1800s.
Words like forlorn are probably good adjectives to describe the characters.
Good on John for reading Tolstoy.
You know, he made it 17 pages in. It's a good lucky number.
He did.
He's probably going to skip a few chapters or read a little bit in the middle and then see what happens.
He's going to read the last page.
Yeah.
So John puts his book down to reassure Weir that even if a connection to Earth is made, John isn't going to go through. Mm-hmm. He's going to stay here in Atlantis. And even as Weir says that he is the person best suited to brief General Hammond and the others about the Wraith, he's needed more here.
I apologize for the Velcro.
But if Weir wants to go, and she's like, what? I'm not fucking needed here too? He's like, no. Foot in hole, dig deeper.
Yeah.
I mean,
I won't go if you want to go. I mean, you don't have to go, but no, I mean, I think it'd be cool if you stayed here.
I mean, you're needed here too, but if you wanted.
I don't know what to say anymore. Bye. Yeah.
Look, war piece.
Yeah.
And just hits her.
I gotta go.
It just hits her with it. Just throws
My book club's meeting tomorrow.
Throws it at her. Even though they both agree that life-sucking aliens were part of brochure when they signed up for this shit gig. So on the planet, Ford tries to make some conversation with McKay while he works.
Yeah.
Asking, would you go back? And it doesn't matter what McKay thinks because Atlantis can't afford to lose him. He's too valuable.
I can't with this guy. It's so good that he builds himself up so high because they cut him down so far later.
And Ford just wants to go see his grandma.
How fucking adorable is that?
And because his grandma still thinks he's in Afghanistan or somewhere.
We heart you.
I love him.
Yes.
McKay just continues that he's actually also the natural choice to go because he commands respect at the SGC and he can help bring the cavalry back.
To hear Sam's reaction to him saying that.
She's like,
yeah.
Continue.
Tell me more.
Does he have a car?
About this imaginary world you live in.
He's just invaluable everywhere. Where it says as we eye roll, the biggest eye roll that's ever eye rolled. Taylor comes in and like meets John sort of in the little hallway off the gate. And asks John if they've heard anything back yet from the planet, because the rumor mill on Atlantis is fast working, as you can only imagine it is.
Yeah.
And
because what else they got to talk about?
Listen, this base is like, if you walk into someone else's quarters after 9 o'clock, that shit is known in an hour.
I am willing to bet money that they are sleeping with each other. People are just sleeping with each other like crazy.
What else do you do?
I agree.
You have gone through some traumatic shit, and if nothing else, you need human contact for the night.
Yep. Yeah. Everyone on that base. There's no like rule anymore about like fraternizing. They're just like, fuck it.
You may not necessarily even be like having sex. You are just like, I need to hold someone.
Yeah. Yeah. I need physical contact with human body. Yeah.
And if a little sex happens, it happens.
Sometimes that's how it happens.
So, and like, listen, if John knew he was able to come back from Earth, he'd be there in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
And Taylor could go and see Earth with him, be actually a natural person to help with the briefing with her knowledge of the Pegasus galaxy and the Wraith and all. And then John could show her football and Ferris wheel.
He's like, never mind, I don't want to go. I don't want to watch any more football. Bye.
But only if they knew they can come back.
Yeah.
And that's when the gate dials in.
Mm-hmm.
In the control room, it is McKay. He's done. The gate's up and running. And it looks like everything is set for the big dial back to Earth.
Dun, dun, dun.
And on the planet, they dial Earth. And it's very tense. And the gate connects. And Weir calls through and asking if anyone reads her, and there's a moment pause, and then we hear Walter.
I'm so glad that we get the moment that we get after this, because right now I'm like, we shouldn't be here. If the shit is so bad, no one's running the store.
And then
anyway.
And then Walter's like, whoever this is, it better not be a joke.
Aww.
And
how often do you think they've done that too? Like where he's like, hopes up, runs down the hall, finds Jack, and Jack's like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's like, no, somebody just dialed in. And it's like SG like 8, and they're like, ah, we got you. Yeah.
I get my 20. So no, Weir sends her IDC, and Walter apologizes and opens the iris, and she's like, whoa there, radar. I can't risk a one-way trip. And he's like, no, you don't understand, things have changed.
You did the thing.
The Asgard are fitting Prometheus with a super awesome engines that can reach the Pegasus galaxy.
Mm-hmm. And
we're in the works of actually mapping a mission out to find you.
Yeah.
Seriously, they can come through the gate and be back in Atlantis inside a month.
How perfect.
So McKay's like, who's going?
Before we got to the end of the episode, the first time we watched this, I may or may not have cried. And I'm very angry.
You did.
Yes.
And then I also kept looking at you to see when you started picking up clues.
I was like, I don't remember where, but it was before the reveal, and I was like, something's not right.
It was specifically with a John and Taylor scene.
I think that's what it is.
So there's a line in John and Taylor where they're like, I wish Weir could have come. And there's one before that where she goes, I wish John would be here. And you missed that one.
Yeah, I was too busy being like, you know what it was? At some point, their wardrobe threw me off, and I was like, I'm confused. I'm confused. What have I done?
They do a great thing with the wardrobe, too.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be, just, can we pause of like how cool it would be if the Asgard actually gave us hyperdrive for Prometheus? We get a hyperdrive for Christmas.
Yeah, thanks, bye.
I want a hyperdrive. I want an Asgardian drive for Christmas. Only an Asgardian hyperdrive would do. I mean, Jack did just ask for one for the president.
Why not?
So, cut to Earth. Mm-hmm. And who is standing at the bottom of that ramp?
Hippopotamus. Took me a minute to remember what the song was. I was like, what animal is? It's the rump.
Who is standing at the bottom of the ramp? But the one.
The
only.
Bum, ba-dum.
Here comes the general, rise up. Here comes the general, rise up.
Okay, in my vision, I just watched Donis Davis do that dance. I hope, because he did pass, right?
George Hammond. Yes, he did.
I feel like I've seen him up in heaven, and he's dancing.
He is.
He's doing that dance.
Yeah. the pride of Texas,
I
George Hammond.
love it.
We are outgunned, outmanned,
Outnumbered, outplanned.
gonna making all out stands. You know I'm gonna need my. Okay, I'm done.
I
So-
want that to be real. So
We can
bad.
make it real.
Let's do it.
Future pod card.
Got it.
So we only see Weir standing on the ramp though.
Oh, right.
So here's a question that I
That's
find
not who I would have sent through.
interesting to watch this.
Okay.
We don't see the normal, besides Walter, we don't see anyone else who is standard at the SGC right now. We only see Hammond. He's still a general. I know they had a slight costume fault with how many stars. We're ignoring that entirely.
Okay.
We never see Hammond in the commander's office.
Right.
He's only in the briefing room.
Mm-hmm.
So which leads you to, like, technically when they left, like, Hammond had already left the SGC.
Yep. Jack was in command.
So it could be either Hammond is command of SGC and no one's really putting two and two together, or Hammond's like, come back, he's still a director of Homeworld Security.
My thought is, for the sake of what Weir would believe,
Yeah.
she'd be like, it must be because we're here
Yeah.
that he's come back to greet
That's
us.
kind of what I'm thinking too.
And like day 2 or 3, then I'll get around to talking to Jack. But I have to brief Hammond first.
I just find it interesting because they don't try to play him off specifically as the commander, because he's never in the command office. He's
Right.
only in the briefing room.
Right.
So cut to the briefing room scene, because we get a Stargate SG-1 briefing room scene.
Of course.
We have Weir and McKay, and she's defending their mission
Mhm.
in Pegasus, even with all the risks. But Hammond points out that, like, the Pentagon is super concerned about this report you've just filed.
Mhm.
Like, the Wraiths sound shittier than the Gould.
Yeah.
This is not something to be done lightly, and some of us, people at the Pentagon, are like, maybe we should just cut our losses with the Pegasus Galaxy.
Truthfully, this is where we should have started to suspect. Because, and it's fair to say that the reason Weir does, she doesn't know Hammond as well as we
Yeah.
do. But we should know that the real Hammond, even if the Pentagon told him that, would not react the way
Like, the
he did.
Pentagon may actually, that
That-
does sound like
that
a
all
risk-loss
checks out.
analysis.
Yeah. That all
Um,
checks out. But us as viewers who know General Hammond would be like, he wouldn't be selling this to Cecil.
No.
That's not who he is.
And Weir's adamant that, like, we can't just abandon the Pegasus Galaxy. How many times has the SGC dealt with shit that could have ended the world,
Yep.
and they've continued on? And Hammond points out that, like, look, the difference is that SG-1 stirred the pot of the first goddamn mission, and shutting down the base at that point wasn't an option. We were already out there. We were known. But, and he says, in this case, you know, the Wraith don't really know about us.
Even more of a reason why we should have been like, this is not our Hammond.
We have a choice, a strategic withdrawal, if you will. And Weir's like, no, we don't have a fucking choice.
Not true.
Like, yeah, the Wraith would have woken up either way, but, like, we have a responsibility to the humans of this galaxy. We woke them up early. We played a direct hand in that.
Yep.
And
even if we played no hand,
yeah,
we're not really good at staying out of other people's business.
no, we pushed the giant red button,
That's what we do.
and the technology in Atlantis can actually help.
We
defeat them.
are Grog.
We are Grog.
Yes.
Sometimes our intelligence is a goddamn 6.
Yes.
And you know what? We roll with the punches.
And we just fucking roll through it because we have good hearts.
We do.
The end.
And Hammond isn't entirely convinced, you can tell, but her recommendation will be considered. So sometime after that, John comes around the corner at the SGC and stops Hammond. And apparently the briefing went by very quickly. And it's now time for some well-earned R&R.
I do love the transition that they go from Weir to Shepard.
It's the same sort of sideways motion transition that they use to, we don't realize it, but they use to go between all the different realities.
Yep.
It's really well
and
done.
it's a nice way, again, I don't know why I'm into this so much this episode, but it's almost like, hey, let's shift you to a different space right now. Let's keep shifting you to these different locations. Are you paying attention? Because if you're paying attention, we're giving you clues right now. All the fun things are happening. Then I've been hanging out too much with Jesse. That's what all of this means.
You're just critiquing the visual language of the episode.
Yep.
And in fact, not only has John earned R&R, but Hammond has arranged transportation for him.
Listen, when someone says I've arranged transportation for Shepard, I expect like a fucking monster truck to show up. Honest truth. I was like, he is not so basic that a limo would be for him.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. But that's where I'm at.
So anywhere he wants to go. He's done a great service and he deserves it. And Shepard is convinced. He's waiting for the other shoe to drop. Usually he's like, am I in some sort of trouble?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on?
It makes sense that he's the first to notice shit's hitting the fan.
Yeah.
Because he's like, things don't go this easily for me on Earth. Things don't go this easily for me, period.
No.
Yeah.
So he swings by the infirmary next and picks up Taylor because she's done with her tests and she should get a new outfit. So McKay opens the door to his place. It's just filled with dead plants. It's like, I think it's grandma's house that he just took over and didn't change anything. And he has 0 new messages. Clearly the power failed. And he just, McKay, you sink into your couch after not even looking through any part of your house. You immediately turn on Outer Limits. But
again, another
that,
place where they're fucking giving us clues.
On top of all that, you sit on probably a year-old bag of chips.
Yeah.
You pull it out and you start eating them.
Yes. Yes.
This is basically clue 1 that this is not real.
Is it
because
though?
That's disgusting.
But
no, I'm saying the chips wouldn't be chips anymore.
That's true. They would be ants. They would just be ants.
Do you want ants?
That's how you.
This is how you get ants.
This is where I stop judging McKay. It comes a little bit later, but it goes with the conversation. When you see him just straight up boxers and t-shirt, I'm like
sleeping like a fucking zombie.
That part I'm judging.
Like a vampire.
But once I'm like, okay, you know what? I am doing my rewatch in like essentially the same clothing. The minute I'm home from work,
pants come off.
No pants.
No pants.
We know this about me, so that is when I stop judging McKay.
Listen, I'm not judging McKay on the no pants parts.
Fair.
That's not what I'm judging McKay on.
Also, would it kill you to open the goddamn blinds a little bit and get some sunlight?
No, he's a vampire. We find that out by how he sleeps.
Seriously.
He's a Briarwood. Yeah. Seriously, Critical Role.
Nope.
So, he just like left his house as if he was going to work and went to Pegasus Galaxy. And I have so many questions about this whole place. But anyway, the woman he left his cat with opens the door.
Oh, right.
So next up was John sitting in a limo waiting for Taylor, who's just gone shopping. Now, just imagine, regardless if they gave her cash, paper, or a card, a piece of plastic. This is a woman who's only bartered in her life. And you let her loose in a shopping place, in a market.
She's just gonna go
where
crazy.
She has, this means nothing to her.
She's like, here you go.
This is just a piece,
all these fucking
of paper with a number written on it.
Might as well be Monopoly money.
This is a piece of plastic that means nothing. I scan it and then you give me shit.
How much money do you think she spent?
I have no goddamn idea.
I mean, I feel like if they were smart, they like sent her to the outlets and not to like fucking Saks or something.
My gosh. She's never experienced something like that. It's just, I love it.
I point of contention.
Yeah.
Shepard says, nice outfit.
It's not.
Is it though?
It's not.
Is it a nice outfit?
Listen, I love you, costume crew. You guys are usually directly on point. That's not.
But I actually, counterpoint.
Yes.
That is exactly what Taylor would buy.
Yeah. Like,
it is a little bit deconstructed, but it's also got some bling on it.
It does.
It's kind of like, she's not going to go in there and buy like a refined, fine, luxurious, tailored thing. That's not who she is.
No, I agree.
So now the problem is where it's like, Shepard's like, nice outfit. It's like, well, one,
to be fair,
he probably just has no idea.
Look at what Shepard's wearing.
Yeah. Let's talk about the bro.
To be fair, You were like, I don't think Shepard's that bro. And I went, just wait until you see his dream bachelor pad.
I'm very upset with this dream bachelor pad.
AKA
I'm very upset. I cannot be in love with a man who thinks that is the ideal looking home.
AKA Shepard is a bro.
Truth.
Yeah.
My heart is broken.
So and they drive away and she wonders, like, if her people had never suffered at the hands of the Wraith, maybe we could have created a civilization like this.
Maybe.
So John is wondering about, stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Things seem off to him. Like everything seems off to him.
He's just waiting to get in trouble.
And he asked the driver to take him to Green Moss Park because he thinks he might have a few things figured out when he gets there.
Mm-hmm.
At Weir's house, or Simon's house.
Mm-hmm.
Did they live together?
I'm guessing they live together because
I'm
it's her
assuming.
dog.
It is her dog. Well, she also gave the dog. It's like Janeway in Voyager, where she probably gave the dog to her husband, fiance, paramour.
Yeah.
Anyways, at the house that Simon lives at.
Which he's working on a Maserati.
Yeah.
Do people work on Maseratis? Isn't a Maserati the type of car that you get worked on?
I don't know.
Is it like a project?
I missed the part earlier when she pulled up in her red BMW convertible and they hug.
Convertible is not the car I would have pegged her for.
I don't know if I have a car. I don't do cars, so I don't think in my brain I had one.
She just doesn't look like someone who likes to get her hair ruffled.
Listen, the important thing is we meet Sedgwick, which is far more important than
the
cars.
most important part is
the most beautiful white.
Also, the fact that she loves
puppy.
Yes,
like it looks it's definitely a mix.
It's a Stormy boy sort of, but it's like a long-haired labby
It's
guy.
A little more husky, I think, than Stormy. He's a little more lithe.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah.
I am going to judge her for not petting the dog before she hugs the boyfriend.
To be fair, the dog is not out on the driveway at the time.
All right, I'll give her that.
The dog's probably in the house.
Stupid boyfriend probably made the dog stay in the house.
Just saying.
Because at our house, the first ones to greet me are the boys.
Is the dogs.
Are the puppo boys.
I am not allowed to greet the husband before I greet the puppers.
Not happening.
Never.
No. Sometimes it's fun because I come home late. I work late hours.
Yeah.
And only one will come out because they're tired.
Yeah.
And everyone's asleep and they're like, I am the assigned one to come out and say hello to you. Hello, mommy. Let's go back to bed now.
So Simon and Weir have a sit-down chat. He watched that tape on repeat multiple times. And she's like, I really want to tell you in person. He's like, no, you fucking didn't.
Yeah.
Because no, you did. You were
fine.
You thought I was going to try to talk you out of it.
Yeah.
You're just avoiding confrontation.
This is fine.
I'm fine with that. And to be fair, he actually seems like, no, I totally get that.
Yeah. Look, I know who I'm in love with.
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. And
he actually guessed that she was going to Korea or Israel, but Pegasus Galaxy, not on the list.
Yeah, sure.
And while he knows, he can know where she was, but he can't know what she was doing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact that they told him where she was.
Yeah.
You know what? If somebody told me Pegasus Galaxy, I'd be like, okay, fine, she's in Iraq. Just fucking tell me she's in Iraq. Why do you have to make up some crazy ass bullshit about the
Pegasus Galaxy is the code name for whatever the fuck she's doing. But if she is going to leave again, she can at least wear this. And it's not an engagement ring. It's a necklace.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts it on her and they kiss. And then she pulls away because something's off with that kiss.
I love that she gets
She totally knows instantly.
She's like, that's not you. Something's wrong.
Just as she's starting to question more, her phone rings. And
do you think it's like his breath? Like his breath is usually a little bit stinkier than that.
No, I think it's more of like the technique.
That could be it.
Like the tongue-lip combo technique.
Yeah, everybody does seem to have their own style. Fair.
So, cut to McKay sleeping as a zombie, as a vampire.
Yeah.
And with his I'm with Genius shirt, which no.
I mean.
He would, but
I'm
no.
not surprised.
Weir's at the door.
That is the shirt of a single man.
It is the shirt of a single man.
Because any man who has a person who loves him in his life would say,
burn it.
You cannot have that anymore.
Would burn it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to your shirt. I was doing laundry and it disappeared.
McKay was in the middle of a power nap and he's not wearing pants. Mm-hmm. So Can't really chat for long
Pants.
because he has a date with the girl that was watching her cat.
Huh.
And suddenly realizes there's a look on Weir's face.
Hmm.
There was an accident on the Prometheus.
This is the first time I'm like, wait a minute, why is she wearing a different thing than she was wearing?
She
at the other
was.
house?
This is suit Weir
Mhm.
and not pink shirt Weir.
Mhm.
But there was an accident on Prometheus, she says, and they can't go back to Atlantis.
Dun dun dun.
But McKay's the rescue. He had a eureka moment. This is button-up shirt McKay.
Yeah.
While watching The Outer Limits, they don't need Prometheus.
Yeah.
He actually has figured out a way to make the connection back to the Pegasus Galaxy, to the Fog Planet.
Yeah.
He just needs the ZPM. And Hammond's like, it's dead.
Yeah. You can't have it.
He's like, no, like before we had to have a mostly powered ZPM to power the whole connection, the whole wormhole. But this time it just has to be like a hot wire. He just has to be a spark because the Fog Planet is unique. And once it gets an incoming wormhole, the Fog Planet will actually power the wormhole.
Sure.
They just need a jump start.
I do love his analogy.
Yes. They need 3.5 microseconds is all the juice they need to get from the ZPM.
Yep.
Hammond is like, sure. But since they have nothing left to lose, Hammond will give him the ZPM. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, he's like, fine, do whatever you want. Just leave me alone.
Weir, dressed back in pink, sits down with Hammond in the briefing room. And she's like, look, I know this incident on the Prometheus was a setback, but we can repair it. He's like, setback? 200 people died in this giant incident. Like, the Prometheus isn't flying anywhere for a while. And to him, asking the Asgard's completely out of the question. Weir's really annoyed at this. And she came to Earth only because she was guaranteed to be able to get back to Atlantis.
Yeah.
And she's not about...
It's been clear.
Yeah. She's not about to abandon her team. She's
it was
not
like
about to give
the
up.
second thing she said. She said, hello, if I go, can I get back?
Exactly. Hammond's going to look into it. He's not making any promises.
This is when I started to notice the clothes, and I thought, I wonder if this was a nightmare or a lot of fun for the continuity person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's two types of personalities in the world. One who was like, I have been training my whole life for this moment. And the person's who like, you want to do what? Yes. Yeah.
So in some other hallway, Walter and Ford are talking, and Ford's like, don't fucking kill the messenger. I don't care. And he leaves the room as Lab Coat McKay comes in, and he's like going on to his minions about, I can't abide sloppy work, and if you don't double check your results, don't be here.
Science.
Ford's like, can you believe I'm being transferred? And he's outraged, and McKay's like, well, congratulations, you're getting moved somewhere. And he's like, no, that's not how this works. I was enjoying time with my grandmother, and now they want to send me to Antarctica, not Atlantis. Antarctica and Atlantis are two different places.
Right.
And McKay just kind of snaps. He's like, look, do you know something that I don't? Because we can't get back to Atlantis, so move on with your life.
No. Even so, nobody moves on by being sent to Antarctica.
Nobody moves on from Atlantis.
No thanks, bye.
So back at Weir's house, she's sitting out in the back thinking with her puppers at her feet when Simon brings out 2 mugs. Like, he's
I love the way she sits in that chair.
I know.
Very specific people can sit like that.
You need, or just it's a really long chair.
Yeah, though that may be it too. But I've always admired my friends who can do that.
My ass takes up too much of the chair for me to be able to do that.
Yeah.
But Simon's going to admit he's not really super bummed that she has to say honestly, and Weir knows.
Well, that's not wrong. Yeah.
Like, Weir knows it's not fair, but she feels guilty about wanting to go back, but she also feels guilty about being back here on Earth, and it's just a fucking guilt trip all around.
Yes. Yes, because she shouldn't enjoy leaving the person she loves so much, but she also loves her job very much. And Atlantis is the siren.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the siren song is calling.
Yeah.
I can't blame her.
She should have stayed in Atlantis, and John should have been the one to go.
Oof.
It's the one you missed.
That is the one I missed, where I was like, What's going on? Where am I?
You're just distracted by dogs.
I think I probably was.
And then John opens the door to his bachelor pad.
Oh.
And Taylor walks into
The
this
Bro
house
Palace.
that looks way above the salary of an Air Force major.
No. Yeah.
If this is his, he has money from elsewhere.
Yep.
And I mean, Callaway clubs, a pinball machine, foosball. He clearly has people coming to clean his house while he's gone and water the plants, replace the fruit.
If I had gone on dates with this man and I'd reached the date where I was going to come over to the house,
how quickly
and this is the house that I came to, I would run.
How quickly would you be texting me to give you an SOS call?
The minute I walked in, I'd be like, "Hey, where's your bathroom?" And I'd be like, "Call me." Right now, I am in Patrick Bateman's house. I'm about to be shot in the back of the head.
There's even cold beer in the fridge, and he does that really fucking annoying beer cap flip across the room that makes me want to take the beer cap and then shove it in people's eyes. I can't explain why I dislike that move so much. I really can't.
It's not.
But it pisses me off for reasons that I can't
very
explain.
Gracious. It just seems like you're just throwing garbage on the floor.
Like, it's reasons that I can't even explain to myself, but I just hate it.
I don't know, but I don't like
There's
it.
some weird deep impacted shit with that one. There's also a pineapple here, which seems like an innocuous thing or a How I Met Your Mother reference. But it's actually a trait of a director and camera operator. Will Waring has a knack, and he's done this way beyond Stargate. This is just all the stuff he works on. He likes to stick pineapples in scenes.
I noticed the fruit, and I was like, that wouldn't be fresh anymore.
Well, he has people coming and cleaning and replacing.
Like, I didn't give two shits about the potato chips, but the fruit, I'm like, no. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
The only thing I do like of his entire creepy house is the Johnny Cash poster.
I knew you'd notice that.
And the view.
I literally go, I also figured Grace would love the poster next to the kitchen.
I mean, it's strange placement, but yes.
You just love Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
And I know you do.
He's my grandpa.
So John just looks around. It's everything he could have imagined, right? Mm-hmm. And he just thinks about Weir and everyone on Atlantis.
Yeah.
And Taylor's like, I'm sure they're fine.
Wait a minute.
Also, Taylor gets her first beer. Well, I rephrase that. I'm sure they have some sort of beer ale thing.
Well, I feel like it's not her first alcoholic drink, but it's her first, like...
It's her first earth beer.
Yeah. Which, what a shitty way to start.
Oh. It's not even good beer.
Yeah.
So, back at the SGC, and not a button-up McKay checks his team's readings.
Right.
They need more time, they're like, non-convincingly. And he looks over, and they're like, are you dumb? None of this shit makes sense.
Yeah.
These numbers aren't numbers.
Somebody it's like they asked me to write math.
This should say Bing Tittle Tittle Bong. I think Bing Tittle Tittle Bong is the AKA for this episode officially.
AKA Bing
Tittle Tittle Bong.
It's like, did he make that up or did somebody write that?
I don't know, but I love it.
It's very specific. Yeah.
It's all this research is complete nonsense, and he shoos everyone off to do the tests themselves. Hammond is sitting with Weir in the briefing room, and she's back in pink top. Mm-hmm. And it turns out that they don't need the Asgard's help, Hammond says. McKay actually figured out how to open a wormhole. Great news. Bad news is the mission's been reassessed, and the powers that be now think Atlantis should have a military commander.
Huh.
They're sending reinforcements and a new commander, and you're being relieved of duties.
Nope.
Duty. Which Weir does not take well. She's like, talk to John. He'll tell you I should stay. Hammond goes, he just dialed in. He totally agreed with us.
That's when I'd be like, now that's some bullshit.
She's like, I don't believe you. Mm-hmm. I know John. And apparently not as well as she thinks she does, Hammond says.
Oh, that's mean.
He specifically said that it was the only way to ensure the security of the project.
Yeah. Huh.
Back at John's murder lair, John tells Taylor that they should get out of here, go see Earth.
Yeah.
But just...
let's go Earth it up.
Taylor's like, what about visiting your friends? And John's like, that's a good idea. And then on command, the doorbell rings. It's Mitch and Dex. That's a little bit of a shock. A lot of bit of a shock. And he invites them in and the party starts.
Yeah.
And the side zooming camera flashes pick up more. Okay.
The fun thing.
Bear with me on some of these scenes. Pink shirt wearer is
Yeah.
walking the halls. Button-up McKay is working very confused on all of his data and is greeted by suit wearer.
Yes.
Okay.
These, I wrote, these shots are crazy. That's literally what I wrote down.
Pink shirt wearer needs to talk to lab coat McKay, who has no time to talk. Button-up McKay is very confused.
The button-up peoples are the bad peoples.
No. Button-up McKay is good McKay. Lab suit McKay.
That's what I meant. Like sooty thingy.
Overlayer cover.
Yeah, people are bad people.
Button-up McKay's like, all the laws of physics have flown out the window. Dogs and cats living together.
Mass hysteria.
And suit wearer is just trying to convince him that, well, no, everything's okay. We just can't go back.
That's not okay. That means things are not okay. That just means not everything is okay.
At John's house, it's a flat-up party, including girls in bikinis.
Well, you can't have a good party without girls in bikinis.
And Mitch and Dex are drunkenly telling war stories, and Tanks, you're welcome. No, fucking no.
No. I will say that's
a hard pass on that joke.
This is where Shepard wins me back.
Yeah.
Because he's so awkward at this party, but I'm like, this is how I would be at this party as well.
Taylor is how I would be at this party, just sitting there going, can I crawl into a hole?
What the fuck is happening?
Can I just walk backwards?
Whereas I would be like, yeah, I guess this is cool. This is not cool. I'm just gonna drink more. So maybe that's why I drank so much when I was younger.
So the doorbell rings and it's Ford with a whole stack of pizzas. And he caught the delivery guy at the driveway, so he just
with the pizza brand pizzas. This is pizza brand pizza. It reminded me of, remember when the Food Network was new, and it actually showed cooking shows.
Sure. I mean, Guy Fieri is not the mastermind.
Fuck. It actually just showed people cooking. It's like when MTV started, it actually showed music videos. When Food Network started, it actually just showed people cooking. Crazy, I know. But Rachel Ray's show, I used to love watching because they had a designer who would relabel everything that came in a package. So she was like, I'm using chicken broth. Then it would make like a generic label that was like chicken broth and then a picture of a chicken on it. So I feel like it's like pizza brand pizza by pizza.
So can I it's random story because Guy Fieri was mentioned. I was making these little icons and it had to be, it was like a little light. Long story short, it was a circle with like these crazy like sunburst sort of thing coming off the top. And one of our coworkers walked by and goes, is that an icon of Guy Fieri? And I went, yes. That awesome. Icon is officially in the cannot use category.
Listen, I will hand it to that man. He knows how to brand. Yeah, you can make an icon. I've also heard that he's actually a really cool person.
I have heard
he's
too.
A good human being. But you cannot have that hair and not expect to be made fun of.
Wearing the sunglasses in your back of the head.
You can't be taken seriously that way.
No. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Funny stuff. John was just thinking about Ford, and then John's like, "Is it hot in here? It's getting hot."
So let's take off
all the girls already have.
We're already there.
So pink shirt wearer is pissed that she's being relieved of a command, and lab coat McKay seems to give no shits about Atlantis being militarized. Oh well, and you're just being paranoid and whatever. Go home and spend time with Simon. That's your paramour, right?
Yeah.
Weir's like, I don't remember telling you that.
Right. And honestly, even if she had told him that, he wouldn't remember that.
He wouldn't remember it. And part of me is like, you had months in the Pegasus Galaxy conversations you're going to have about your life back on Earth. And the other part of me is going, McKay would not ever pay attention to anyone else's personal life in any way, shape, or form.
Here's the truth. She's probably told him so many times.
Yeah.
She's probably just calls him by his first name now instead of saying my boyfriend.
Yeah.
She just goes, Simon.
Yeah.
And he probably still has no idea.
No idea.
Yeah.
Because he's not really like the listen to people sort.
Yes, he's not exactly a listener.
So back at John's, buddies continue their stories about sitting down with warlords in Afghanistan, and which enraptures Ford. And John's like, yeah, funny. You died 2 days later.
Yep.
Records.
Holy shit.
You were killed outside Kabor. Record scratch.
Yeah.
So Button Up McKay can't emphasize enough how like these readings, it's not that they don't make sense. It's that reality is no longer governed by the laws of physics in this. These aren't numbers. Like again, bing tittle tittle bong.
Yeah. This is just like I see flavors.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's just not possible. Suit Weir tells him to calm down. But
Can
no,
you taste numbers?
Weir's like, this is when I should be getting very, very agitated.
This is I'm gonna calm up is what I'm
I am going
do.
to calm up. I am going to evolve into a new Pokemon right now.
I will not calm down. I will calm up.
Because this is all a lie. And he slams his laptop and throws papers and then throws his NPM onto 100 pieces on the floor.
You know, if we didn't use this line so often, this would have been a great time for the cake is a lie.
It is. The cake is a lie.
Yes.
So Taylor wonders what John means. And John's like, I mean, their chopper took an RPG when they were landing for a medevac.
Yeah.
They're dead. There's barely enough to bring back for a funeral. They shouldn't be here. And this woman is my 6th grade teacher.
I mean, you don't invite your 6th grade teacher to all your parties.
And this woman, I don't know her name, she turned me down for a date.
Yeah.
Because she saw where I lived.
Yeah, can't blame her.
So Mitch and
She's probably delivering something to his house, and she's like, "No, thanks, bye.
Mitch
I don't want to be hanging in your closet with all the other bodies."
Say, sorry. And they're like, "John, you're acting strange." He's like, "Really? Oh, really? Am I acting strange?" And he pulls out a pistol and then shoots his friend in the shoulder.
This is where we learn Shepard is definitely chaotic good.
Yes.
And Weir is a bit more loveful.
Listen, I love me some chaotic good characters. I love me some chaotic neutral characters. I just love chaotic characters.
Well, they're fun.
They're fun.
They're fun. Yeah.
I don't know if I want to know them, but I like to know them in a gaming sense.
I feel like we all know them at some point in our lives.
My dog is a chaotic neutral.
My dogs are chaotic good boys.
They're chaotic good. Mine's chaotic neutral.
Yeah. No, they're literally just chaotic good boy.
They're
like
just-
good boy is a class.
Chaotic.
Good boy.
So Weir's like, who are you?
This is not right. Her approach, again, a bit more local.
Yeah.
A bit more control.
John's friends yells, you shot me.
No shit. I am Tyler Durden.
Tyler's
Sorry,
like,
I don't know that.
how can I shoot you when you're already dead? Here's a point.
Yep.
Ford tries standing up, and John's like, no, don't stand up because I'm having doubts about you too.
You're gonna die next.
And don't test things because I will shoot you and ask questions later.
I'm clearly not okay right now.
He takes a swig from his beer because he's totally put together and tells the room that someone's going to tell him what the hell is going on here, or bullets. So cut to the creepiest grin we've ever seen on McKay, on Lab Coat McKay. And Hammond calls Weir's name from behind her. It's time she knows what's going on.
Dun, dun.
There's no point in continuing the charade, and he transforms into an incorporeal mass for a bit, a little glowy, sparkly thing.
Yeah.
And then comes back to Hammond. And the real McKay and the rest of his team are in their own illusionary worlds.
Cool. Thanks, Mind Flayer.
It is a mind flayer.
Yeah.
So if and buts or brains about it. They're all brought back together to the gate room onto the ramp, and John's like, what the fuck? Specifically my beer, where is it?
Yes, need this.
John,
if I'm gonna be in this situation, at least keep the drinks coming.
At least. John says, well, John was the first one to sort of figure out that really, since the past 11 months, his home has been in a research base in Antarctica. This is probably not reality.
Yeah.
And he's always dreamed about a bachelor pad like that. Please don't.
Yeah.
And he was the first, he was the only one to really manipulate.
I'll give him this. Sometimes you imagine a home that you think you want, and then you're like, this doesn't feel good at all.
That doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
On the inside. It's just more of he had a bunch of favorite things and he wanted to combine them home because all those things in that house are fine to have.
Because I always dream of this aesthetically clean, empty house, but I live in the insanity I live in, And I kind of love it a little bit.
Again, all of the things in John's house are fine to want and have. Just don't put them together.
No one should live in a museum. This is like when Digger from Gilmore Girls, when Lorelai dates Digger, and he's got that weird ass fucking house.
Yeah.
And then his dog just sits there and does nothing. That's when you know he's a sociopath.
Yes.
Okay.
So John's like, later, when I think about all the scenarios I could have made and then didn't, I'm gonna kick myself. And I don't know if we want to know what those are.
They would have been like the equivalent to keeping it on the Futurama theme when Bender becomes human.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of girls in bikinis and beer and nachos and cheese.
Hot tub time machine. So that they dumped Taylor into John's vision and like reality because she didn't have any memories of Earth to draw upon.
Sense.
And now the fake Hammond, faux Hammond, the Mind Flayer says that they can create a new reality now for all of them together to live out the rest of their lives in.
No.
Yeah.
How kind of you.
That's not gonna work for us.
Yeah, at least you get to die together.
And Hammond's like, well, deal with it because it's kind of your only choice. And this is all to protect themselves, the non-corporeal beings, the fog, the ghost people, the Mind Flayers. And the energy readings were life signs. They are the fog.
Oof.
And every time someone comes in,
they're poplars.
Every time someone comes in, some of them die. And they actually sacrifice themselves in order to keep the secret of their existence.
No.
And when they figured out the Atlantis crew actually wanted to use the Stargate a ton, intervention had to be done.
Right.
Because dialing to Earth the power that would need would kill millions of them.
I'll say they've got one move, but damn, it's good.
Yeah.
That's a power. That illusionary magic.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Yeah.
And they don't they didn't really understand Earth or humans, so that's why the realities were super flawed, because we're complex and very unlike them. And in real life, their unconscious bodies are just laying on the planet.
Right.
And there's
totally just dying.
There's no food, there's no water, and fake Hammond is like, well, enjoy the time you got left, bitches.
Kiss your ass goodbye. Yeah.
So, but here's the only problem is the mist doesn't realize is human nature. If they don't come back,
someone's going to come.
More people are going to come.
That's how humans do.
And it's going to keep happening. And eventually they are going to open the gate back to Earth if they don't go back and stop them.
Now, I wonder, is it fair to say human nature or earthling nature?
I'm using human nature is to mean Earth. Yeah. To mean humans. Yes.
Got it. I'm good with that.
Tari nature.
I'm good with it.
Karen nature. Where it's like, look, if you let us leave, I give you my word that we'll never return. And the Mind Flayer is like, look, we know how strong your will is to get back to Earth. How are we supposed to trust you? And we're just like, literally, you've been in our heads.
You can literally read my mind. How can I lie to you?
And after a moment, Mind Flayer does believe him.
He's like, point.
So they wake up on the planet, and McKay's like, are we sure this isn't like a double fake? But we hear the Mind Flayer voice going, no, this is real. Seriously. Yeah. And McKay and Ford start taking the crystal of the DHD. And McKay and John start bickering while Weir thanks them for allowing them to go home.
Aww.
And fade out.
I love it, because technically they do go home. Who's the author who says you can't go home again?
I don't remember.
That's what this is, though. And I love that. For someone who's lived in one place their whole adult life and then left, and now it's like, oh, to go home. Actually, I don't know what that would feel like. I understood Weir's conversation with her guy.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I should want to just come back here, but I actually don't know if that's my reality now.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's what feels right. There's a lot more out here. Now that I've seen this, now that I've adjusted, humans are very adaptable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have made it this long. So we found this new place and learned to live with it, and now we like it, and now that's become home. Just made it home. I like this episode.
Alrighty.
It's a lot of fun.
So the two things, because we have a hard out, so we do have to wrap this up a little quickly. One is we hear the Stargate theme in this episode. It's one of the few times we hear it on Atlantis. Two is next up on SG1, I shit you not, Endgame.
In case you needed your guts cut out of you one more time.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Different Endgame. Don't worry. It doesn't
But
stand that much.
reminders of Endgame.
So here's what we're going to do. So the next, what we're coming up with is a 10 of both shows, and those were the mid-season ender.
Okay.
SG1 is not a two-parter. Atlantis is.
Okay.
So what I think we're going to do is we are going to do episodes 10 and 11 of SG1, and then we will do episodes 10 and 11 of Atlantis. So we keep the two-parter together. We're not going to like do two-parter in one episode.
Yeah.
But we're just going to double those up just so we can have the Atlantis two-parter. We don't have an SG1 in the middle. So there'll be 2 weeks
in a row.
Yeah. Just I don't want to put an SG1 episode in the middle of a two-parter for Atlantis.
I like that. So next week we'll see you guys with Endgame.
Yes.
Cool. We're gonna wrap it up quickly.
Yes.
Thank you guys for listening. You know where to find us on Twitter. We're at Terra Podcast.
Facebook at There's No Place Like Terra.
Email us at theresnoplaceliketerra@gmail.com.
Rate us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Rate us, like us, review us.
We love you. Go bye.
Bye.
All right. Shit, I didn't realize.